What makes this race so special in your mind? I heard Al Michaels on the Pat McAfee show last week, and he said the start of the Indy 500 is as exhilarating as anything in sports. What makes the Indy 500 different from other races?
Well, it makes it not only different from other races, but for other sporting events too, Brandon. Because when you go to a Super Bowl, there might be 65,000 or 70,000 people there, or whatever it might be. And the next year, the Super Bowl's in a different location, a different venue. Same for the Olympics. It's a monstrosity, but it's different events at different times over the 2.5 weeks. You have the Football World Cup, again, played over the course of a month, etc., but different locations, and then culminates in the one final. But there's not an event on the planet where you have 330,000 people in the one place at the one time, and the energy that you feel from that group, the largest single day sporting crowd in the world, is like nothing else that you've ever experienced. So for people who have never been to the Indianapolis 500, that my words don't mean anything. Anybody's words don't mean anything until you've experienced it for yourself. And Al's correct. There is nothing more exhilarating than when you're going to see 33 cars do 230 miles an hour. And when they come up the main straight, three abreast on lap one. For me, when they pack up down the back straight on the last parade lap and they go through turn three and they're coming to the short chute, you see the masses. They all stand, and you can hear that. They start cheering, they start whistling. They know something massive's about to happen, and that gives you goosebumps. There's no feeling like when it's coming to the start of the race. And then for anybody who's been trackside to see an Indy car, just a single Indy car at 230 miles an hour go through a turn is ridiculous. It just sends this jolt through your body. And then when you get to see 33 of them on track, all doing that, trying to do the best they can while fighting off 32 others, I mean, it's madness, but it is beautiful madness.
You had mentioned that you raced motorcycles when you were younger, just kind of growing up. I would imagine if you've raced motorcycles before that, you got to be somewhat of a thrill seeker. What is the rush like? How does it compare being on the call for the Indy 500 with 300,000 people watching in attendance, and then knowing that there's millions of people watching at home as well?
It's a huge rush. It's a huge rush because, for the simple fact that there is nothing else like it in the world. And
Yeah.
you know that you're going to have this long form story over several hours because it's a 500-mile race. But then you've got to hit these key points, and it's the fact that you're there in this cathedral that will hold 330,000 people.
Right.
It gives you the juice. It gives you the energy, and it's so raw. It's an exhilarating feeling, knowing they come down that chute, and it's just, you hear, we're up on the 9th floor of the pagoda, and it feels like we're in the middle of the fan base. That's the noise and the volume and just the intensity and the weight of that experience. So that really, as broadcasters, that drives us.
Yeah.
Like we feel, at track and field meets, we sit in amongst the fans in the stands. Well, it feels like that for us at Indy, that you're right in there amongst them, and that drives us. Even though we're somewhat separated on television, it drives us, and it influences our call.